Follow Michael Palin's adventures as he circumnavigates the Pacific Rim with his BBC book, video and audio collection, available now.
Off the pitch, it's high society.
My advice would be don't fall off.
On the pitch, it's who dares wins.
I think it's very brave of you to actually play in a real polo game.
For Hale and Pace, it's mission impossible.
What a bad leg, miss. I suppose I'm a bit scared, to be honest.
You're on a diet, are you?
It's like shoving...
Don't, Norman.
You guys have to realise just what you're taking on here.
Jobs for the boys.
All we can do is pray for him, I think.
Begins with a little horseplay. Next Sunday at 7:45 on BBC One.
He got me.
A boy of no consequence.
I shall give him my name.
Tom!
Cursed by scandal.
Tom!
Your daughter, sir, my niece, is surrounded by the boisterous brutality of mere country boobies.
Blessed by charm.
Mr. Jones is not one of the most handsomest gentlemen there ever was.
Loyal and true.
Indeed, indeed.
What signifies him being base-born when compared with such qualifications as these?
Daring and devilish.
Tom! You rascal!
And what can be more innocent than the indulgence of a healthy appetite?
I recommend the birch, sir.
He stole their hearts.
Molly.
Tom.
Miss Weston.
Mr. Jones.
And fought his fate.
Do you insult me with the misfortune of my firm?
An all-star cast in the classic adventure, The History of Tom Jones, a Foundling.
Rascal!
The tale begins in 15 minutes on BBC One.
The news first on BBC One with Michael Buerk.
Britain and America have called on Saddam Hussein to back down in the latest crisis in the Gulf. President Clinton says he's not ruling out military action. The Queen led the nation in remembrance of Britain's war dead, and the Platt trick that sent Manchester United to defeat at Highbury. Good evening. The latest confrontation between President Saddam Hussein of Iraq and the West has taken a serious turn today, with Britain and America warning him to back down or face strong and unambiguous action. For the seventh day running, Iraq stopped UN inspectors from seeing their weapon sites. Saddam told his people there was a choice between an honourable life or a confrontation and everything that follows. President Clinton said he would not rule out a military strike, and Tony Blair warned the Iraqi leader not to make another fatal miscalculation. Ben Brown's in neighbouring Jordan.
For the seventh day running, UN inspection teams set out to search for weapons of mass destruction, and for the seventh day running, they had to turn back. As usual, Iraqi officials objected to the presence of American inspectors.
Provided that you do not include the American individuals in the inspection.
I'm very sorry, Mr.
Iraq is again risking the wrath of the United States. President Clinton is now considering how best to punish it. Maybe more sanctions, maybe a military attack.
I don't want to rule anything in or out. I think it's, at a moment like this, it's very important that the president maintain all options and signal none. And that's where I want to be. But I think that Saddam Hussein needs to understand that this is a serious business.
If it comes to the military option, there are reports that British RAF Tornadoes could join an attack on selected Iraqi targets. The Foreign Office won't comment on that, but today Tony Blair has told Mr. Clinton they must stand firm and together against what he called a still dangerous dictator. Saddam, meanwhile, has sent his Deputy Prime Minister, Tariq Aziz, to New York to try to argue Iraq's case at the United Nations. Mr. Aziz says he wants constructive dialogue, but he'll be told by the Security Council there can be no compromise, that Iraq must reverse its threat to expel American weapons inspectors.
Tomorrow the Security Council will meet. The message that must come out of that Security Council is the world is absolutely resolute and absolutely united in sending to Saddam Hussein a clear message that no option is ruled out. The duty is on him to adhere to the UN resolutions.
Tonight, Iraqi television showed Saddam Hussein meeting senior members of his government and the ruling Ba'ath Party. Ominously, he was quoted as saying his country now has a choice between honour and confrontation. This weekend, Iraq has renewed its threat to shoot down the UN's reconnaissance plane, which is due to resume flights from tomorrow. Iraqi anti-aircraft batteries are reported to be on a state of high alert. But one Pentagon official has warned that any attempt to bring down the plane will be regarded by the United States as an act of war. Ben Brown, BBC News, Amman.
Here, the nation remembered its war dead today in services and ceremonies throughout the country. At the Cenotaph in London, 10,000 veterans watched the Queen lay a black-edged wreath for their fallen comrades. The Queen Mother also attended for the first time in 4 years. Clarence Mitchell reports.
At the heart of the nation's remembrance, under the chill of November rain, the Queen led the traditional ceremony at the Cenotaph. On the stroke of 11 for 2 minutes, in memory of